Hi, I'm Rachel, and today I'm going to tell you about my rhinoplasty experience in Istanbul, Turkey, and answer some questions that people have been asking me. So, why did I get a nose job? Well, I'll show you a before of my nose. My nose was super crooked. I had a deviated septum and it was broken, and I just didn't like it, honestly, and it's okay to not like something and want to fix it, and that's something that was hard for me to do. I don't know, I felt kind of vain for doing it, but I'm really glad I did. Anyways, sorry, my stitches are itching. So I am 2 weeks post-op. So I had my surgery 2 weeks ago, and this is how it looks now. It's still swollen. It's going to go down, but I still have stitches that are showing. They're going to dissolve, but it's going to take a minute for that for my tip to kind of show more definition. A lot of people have been asking me why Turkey, and really there's no good reason why I chose Turkey other than I looked at a lot of the doctors there and I just really liked their work. I was looking for doctors here in the States, and the prices for one were ridiculous. So anywhere between $12,000 to $25,000, and I didn't really care for their work. Like some local people here, I don't know, it wasn't anything special. It was just kind of like, all right, well, they took the hump out, but they didn't really do anything with the tip, and it's just, I wanted a cute nose, and so they say, if you want a cute nose, go to Turkey. But since I was searching for rhinoplasty, my Instagram started blowing up with like Turkish doctor ads, and I started looking, and I was kind of like, why are there so many ads? Why am I getting so many ads from people in Turkey? Like, this is so weird. And then I went on Facebook and I joined some groups, like Turkish rhinoplasty in Turkish, or rhinoplasty in Turkey. And basically I just did a lot of research and kind of went down a rabbit hole of all the different doctors and comparing everyone to each other. And basically I did the research and I figured out that the doctors in Turkey were what I preferred. I liked the look of what they did, and they all had a certain style. Some of them do what they call a Barbie nose, which I don't have. Mine's more of a natural shape, but sometimes the Barbie nose is a little bit more like whoop, which kind of gives you a little bit more of a piggy look at first, but the tip drops, and some people like that. I mean, it looks good on some people. I kind of was thinking about it, but I don't know. I just felt like that. I don't know. It's hard to know what you're going to look good with, like the kind of nose. You can't just like try on a nose, I tried to Photoshop everything, and I tried to Photoshop it and figure out what I liked the most, and it was just really hard. So I eventually, when I had my consult with my doctor, I just told him, I said, without seeing what I've shown you of what I like, what would you do? And so he told me, basically what he would do, and I was like, okay, just do that, which was similar to what I had asked for. So I feel like either way, like he would have done what I wanted. So why Turkey? I don't know. Why not Turkey? It ended up being, after I narrowed down my search, Turkey was like the only one that was consistent. A lot of the doctors there, their work is very consistent. And they're very talented. They're known for doing rhinoplasties there. Second question that I get a lot is, what was the cost? So I went with a place called Clinic Hub, and that Clinic Hub has several different doctors that they work with. So they work with Dr. Shamil Shaheen, who was my doctor. They have Dr. Yu. They have some other ones. I don't want to name them because I'm not sure if I've got their names right, but I'll list it in the description below. But I went with that clinic, and basically the clinic, you pay them, and it's like a all-inclusive fee. So I paid $4,850, and that included the surgery, all the medications after the surgery. It included the transportation from the airport to the hospital to get my blood work done. It included all the blood work. Basically included everything except for my flight and food. It included the hotel. It included the doctors in the hotel that come check up on me, and it included a one-night stay in the hospital, which I found really luxurious because in the States, it's just an outpatient procedure. You're there at the office or wherever you are for, I think, like 2 hours, and they send you home. So for this, I really liked that because I would be taken care of and watched over, especially since I was going alone. So the day of the surgery, I stayed in the hospital, and they gave me IV antibiotics and pain medication overnight. And I stayed overnight, and then the next kind of morning, it was like around 10 or 11 when I checked out of the hospital, and they brought me to the hotel, and the transportation for that is included too. And the hotel has free breakfast, and it's really nice. What else? So that was the cost. My flight there was $1,080, and that was a round trip. It was a really difficult journey because I chose the cheapest one, and it was like a 20-hour flight, 20-hour travel experience, like going there, because I was coming from Charleston to Washington to Canada, to Montreal in Canada, and then Canada to Rome, and then Rome to Istanbul. So, and on the way back, it was Istanbul to Munich to Newark, and then Newark to Charleston. And I got home at like midnight. It was a lot. That was a lot. If I had more money, I would probably figure out how to make that a shorter trip, because that was the hardest part about this whole thing, I think, was travel, the flights. Let's see what else I've got. How did I decide on my surgeon? I looked up a lot of groups on Facebook. I did a lot of searches, was on Instagram 24/7 looking at different doctors and their work, and looking at Facebook and searching their names and making sure they weren't like on the botch list, because there is a botch list. And I came across Shamil, and I just really liked his results. They were like natural, but also super cute. And I just liked his vibe. I don't know. It was just one of those things where I was just like, I like this guy, like as a person. He just felt very calm, and I just liked him, and I liked his work. And I was right too, because when I got there, he was just exactly as I thought he would be. He was calming, he was very reassuring and kind, and just amazing overall. He was so good. I loved him. And he did a really good job, I think, for a difficult nose that I had. So, let's see. How are their nose scars? So I have, what they do is they make an incision here and then they like lift up. It's pretty gross. I can't watch videos on it. It's just, I can't. But that's what they do. And so they put stitches that dissolve there and basically, like, you know, you don't have a scar. Sometimes they make incisions here. It's an Rhinoplasty. They do that, but I didn't have to have that since he was able to deproject, like to push in my nose a little bit. I guess he removed some cartilage at the tip because it was like out further, but he didn't have to do that. But sometimes people have scars here, or like incisions here and here and here. And also, depending on your nose, you'll have an incision in your ribs under your breastbone kind of area, oh, kind of like right in here. They'll take a piece of cartilage out from your rib and use it, depending on what your nose is like. And from what I've heard, that hurts more than anything. It hurts more than your nose after the surgery, after talking to people that have had that done. So pain level. So the pain level, it's hard to say because I feel like I've got a high pain tolerance. It kind of depends on you, honestly. And I will say just stay on top of your pain medication that they give you. In Turkey, they gave us, it was like a really high extra strength Tylenol kind of situation. But even though I wasn't hurting, I just made sure to take it every 12 hours or whenever it was due, just to like maintain that control over the pain. So it didn't really hurt, honestly. The first night, or like after the surgery, and that night, it was uncomfortable. It felt like I had a really bad sinus infection. If you ever had COVID, it's like the worst sinus infection you've ever had, and it felt like that. It was painful in that sense. It wasn't like sharp pain. It was more of a pressure pain, like a kind of an annoying pain. And they also put like silicone splints up my nose too, and they do it for other people too. And that was uncomfortable, and just like the whole newness of it, like there's stuff on my face, there's just like, you know, I've got things up my nose, I've got this on my face, I got tape everywhere, and it's just like one of those, like, this is really, it's just uncomfortable and something that you're just gonna have to adjust to. And, you know, it just stay on top of your pain medication. That's all I can say about that. After the first day, though, it didn't really hurt. I kept taking my pain medication. Then I switched over to just like a regular Tylenol every now and again if I needed it. But I didn't really get that. But like the only pain that I would get was like a kind of like a dull headache kind of pain. So yeah, the pain, it was tender to touch. So cleaning out my nose was tender. It felt bruised. It was just very tender. If you touched it or like, you know, put too much pressure on it. But just make sure that, you know, if you do it, just stay on top of your pain medication and ice it, and you'll be fine. After I got my cast off and the splint on, it was still, and it still is tender. Like, they have us doing massages to it, and it is pretty tender, and at the tip is numb, too. Like I can't, like I can, it's starting to come back, but I can't really feel that. Sometimes people have numbness like all the way down to their lip, but for me it's just like from here to here, like where the tip is right here. And it is kind of tender. It hurts if I push down too hard, so I try not to. But it's not like it's not like a continuous pain. It's very manageable. So what hurt more, I think, was after surgery. My lip was swollen and my throat hurt from the ET tube. Like that hurt more than anything. Like that's what bothered me, was having a swollen lip and a sore throat from being intubated. So that was not fun. What else? Does insurance cover the cost on this type of surgery? So no, not for me, because I wanted aesthetic stuff done to it. In the States, I think you can have insurance cover like a septoplasty, but that's not going to do anything with the tip. That's not going to do anything with if you got a bump there. If there's anything aesthetic that you want done to your nose, insurance will not cover that. It is primarily like an aesthetic thing. But since I did have a deviated septum, I was thinking about like, well, I'll just get that done, but still like the cost of that and potentially not liking my nose because I wanted aesthetically, I wanted it to look different too. I just didn't think that was a really good option for me. Yeah. When I say it's cheaper, what's the comparison? So like I said before, I paid around $5,000 for the surgery, the hotel, the transportation, and if you count in the flight, so it's around $6,000, maybe $65,000, including food for the whole week. Oh, and I was there for 7 days. So the 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, wait, 25. I was there for 8 days. I can't math. I was there for 8 days, and that covers the hotel for 8 days, and the transportation and everything. Okay, so here's some more questions. What was the company that I went through? So that was Clinic Hub, and I'll link to them below. If you use my link, they'll give you $100 off of your procedure. So definitely use that, because that's what I did with someone else. So it was $49.50, and then I used someone's link and I got $100 off. So I ended up paying $48.50. And the prices keep going up. So basically, like with all the doctors there, the more popular they get, the more they're going to charge, because, demand, and that drives the price up. So their price is probably different now. By the time you're watching this, it's probably going to be different. How long was the wait to get an appointment? So I booked in November for a January appointment. So it didn't take that long. Some doctor, he had like one spot too. I think it was a cancellation. Sometimes it takes, in the next year. So if you know who you want to have do the surgery, definitely reach out to them ASAP and get on the books. Because I've heard some people, it takes a while, but sometimes you can get in with a cancellation. But do they help with travel arrangements? Yes. So they helped with the hotel. I paid for the flight. How did I like the country overall? So how did I like Turkey and the people and experiences? I loved it. I love it, and I want to go back, and I just love the city. It was so great. It was so busy that I didn't care for how busy it was. Traffic sucked, but that was it. That was the only thing. The people are super friendly. It feels safe over there. It was just a really, really good overall great experience, and I would go back in a heartbeat. I'm not used to talking this much. Trying to think of any other questions that people might have that I haven't gone over yet. I know that like the cost was a big thing. And I went alone, and would I suggest going alone? Yeah, I mean, why not? If, like, I know a lot of my friends, my family was not super happy about me doing this. Hi, Mom. She's not happy about me going alone, but I'm a big girl, and I don't know, I just didn't see anything wrong with it. Really, I guess maybe I'm just stupid. People say brave, but I don't know. I think there's like something that I'm missing in my brain that causes me to do these things. I don't know. I would definitely go again, and I would go alone again because I ended up meeting some really awesome people, and I feel like if I had gone with like my mother or with Gray, I probably wouldn't have stepped out of my shell, and gone to meet people and gone to have dinner with these people. And I would have probably just kind of been a little hermit like I usually am. And I wouldn't have had the experiences that I had, and I probably wouldn't have, developed those relationships. So I would go alone, and if you're going alone, you're about to do this and you're going alone, don't be scared. It's a really friendly, really nice country. Some things that I would do if you are preparing to go, like some tips I have, make sure that you download some things on your iPad or whatever before you go. So you don't have to like buy the in-flight passes, and so you have something to keep yourself entertained. Also get a VPN before you go, because Netflix and Peacock and those kinds of streaming services won't work over there unless you have a VPN. Also make sure with your like cellular provider, see if they've got like a day pass or something that you can use over there, because I would not have been able to function if I didn't have cellular data. If I was just trying to make it by with Wi-Fi, that would have not worked. So I had a cellular plan that allows international travel, and so that's what I did. So definitely check in on those things. Get Google Translate on your phone and have it handy, because the nurses at the hospital, they didn't speak English, and I didn't speak Turkish. I speak a little bit. I learned a little bit before I went over, but it was just not enough to get me by with some of the questions that I had. So, Google Translate, if you've got your cellular data, it works, and it's easy, and it's just the best way to communicate. Let's see. Money. If I make sure that your banks know that you're traveling, your credit cards know that you're traveling. Everywhere accepted my credit card. So I only got cash out because I wanted to go to the bazaar, and they take cash there. They take dollars and lira. So I got both out. But the only thing is, like, I was afraid that if I gave them like $100 and something that costs like $15, that they wouldn't have cash to give me back. And I didn't want to figure that out and like what it would be in lira. So I just got like a little bit of both. I think I got like $100 USD and 100 USD in lira. So it was like 3,000 lira. The exchange rate is like 0.033. So there's that. What else? I'm going to link below a list of things that I brought with me that I found really, really helpful. Neck pillow, the chargers, the Euro conversion charger was really helpful, and some other things that you'll probably need if you go have surgery. But this isn't what do I need if I plan to go do this? This is more of like a why turkey? Why did I do this? What's wrong with you, Rachel? Video. I have to explain. This is my video to explain to all of my friends why I did this. Because I couldn't answer so many messages. But yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, just leave me a question in the comment and I'll try to get back to it. And until next time, bye.